In this video, guys, we're going to look at a momentum trade on a US tech stock. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. Right, so this is a trade review from a trade I recently did in a stock called Peloton. If you're not familiar with Peloton, it's a stock that provides a pretty high-end exercise bike, I guess. It's probably belittling the product a little bit, but exercise bike, and I think they also do a treadmill as well. But anyway, it's quite high-end. It's been doing really well, obviously, because of the lockdown. It's a subscription-based model as well, so it's kind of got a bit of a SaaS model to it, as well as a physical product. Forget about that, not really relevant. The point is, it's been a strong stock and it's been on my radar for momentum play. I've had a couple of trades out of it. I'm actually in a trade at the moment in it, which I will do a review, however that ends out in the future. So if you like this kind of trade review stuff, then make sure you're subscribed and all that other good stuff. But the thing is, I want to run through why I took the trade, the parameters of the trade, the filters for the trade, the trigger for the trade, and actually what happened to the trade. It's not a home run, not a massively successful trade. It was a profitable trade, but nothing to shout home about. Didn't rip off to the highs. It wasn't one of those ones that you go absolutely amazing, but it's a real world kind of bread and butter type trade. And I thought I'd share it with you guys and hopefully get some value out of it. All right, so let's hit the screens now and let's go through review. Okay, so Peloton, like I say, IPO'd a while ago, been in this multi-year range, really, I guess you could say, and just been sitting around. But you know, with the coronavirus lows was back down here, rallied pretty aggressively off that, fake out to the high side, sucked a few people in, rolled back over. Anyway, what I like to see is things that are gapping up to highs with a catalyst kind of stuff. So this is a mini flag, if you like, with a bit of a catalyst. So catalyst was earnings. There's also a high short, about the high short flow extra kind of weight to the trade. There was a high short flow going into this. It's changed slightly because of the lockup period expired as we're into this period now, but at that point in time there was a high short flow, so it adds fuel to the fire. Anyway, gapped up on earnings above our all-time highs. So I'm now looking for a continuation of sorts of this trade, of this stock. And do you know, it's one of those trades where you're looking for momentum, you're looking for a pause in momentum, you're looking for a continuation in momentum. So momentum is obviously here from the lows. Momentum is kind of fueled even more by the drive from earnings. And now I'm looking for some sort of trigger to get in. Now, this wasn't a grade A premium setup. If you're subscribed, guys, you'll see it in a moment. It might be uploaded already, or it's going to be uploaded very shortly. Another trade that I took, very, very similar, post earnings, catalyst drive, momentum induction trade, much more clinical, had much more things weighted for it, and so was positioned for me with a bit more size. This was okay. I'd take the trade all day, every day, but I'm not going to kind of get super aggressive on it. It's still not quite perfect. But if you don't take anything, if you only take perfect trades, number one, you end up putting too much weight on that specific trade. Number two, you just don't know where the runner's going to come from. They might not set up perfectly, but the only thing I really want to do is quantify that risk-reward ratio. So, strong stock, broke out to highs, tick, tick, catalyst with earnings, tick, big short float at the time, tick, great. Now we gap up, we start to push lower. It's not the best earnings drive ever. You know, in a perfect world, a nice solid green would be good, but it's strong. Hasn't filled the gap. It's pushed up, closed at highs. Now we gap lower on day two. So, you know, I'm not so excited. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens on day two. I just don't, you know, it's just perfectly feasible. This thing, you know, rolls back over, maybe fills the gap, and then finds strength. I don't want to be, you know, trying to preempt every single thing. I want to just be, because ultimately, guys, you and I both know how stocks operate. You know, they can pull back quite deeply. This could easily pull back right down, still be in an uptrend per se. If you're a pure technician, you know, looking at that going, well, you know, it could pull back here, consolidate a bit, and then go. I don't want to be too early. I want to find a trigger, a reason to get into the deal. So, gap up on earnings, good. Earnings gap holds, even though it kisses through some lows, it still holds. Gap down the next day. Now, you know, that's a little bit of red flag for the trade. A little bit of red flag. However, let's just see how it trades. So I'm not going to pile in on day two after the earnings. Now, day three, where you think, okay, if we're holding in this area and we break above the high, I'm going to take the trade and look to target the high of the all-time high. Yeah, that's the trade. It seems very intricate and very minute in its the way you're processing it. But from a technical perspective, it ticks a lot of boxes. Okay, we've got a low to work off, which is the low here. Low 41.27. That's the low to work off. We've got a high to work off to get into the deal, and the high here 43.27. So the range isn't that bad. And if we're targeting a breakout of the all-time high, which was 45.70, so we're looking about $46 as a target, the risk reward ratio works out okay. Because the high is 43.27 here, low 41.27, $2 risk if we take the trade, and the high 45.70. We've got room for it to breathe. We've got room for it to run. And worst case scenario at 1-to-1, not ideal, but if that's the first target, there's no reason at all, and it looks perfectly feasible that we could run onto $50. In actual fact, $50 was kind of the area where I thought, I'll look to trim this trade off and see how it's operating. Maybe put a 5-period moving average to see if it's running, because of course it'd be nice and high and tight by then, and just manage it accordingly. However, you've got to take what the market gives you sometimes. You can't just demand something and not get it and be frustrated when it's missing it. So this was a little bit of a red flag as well, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. This was a little bit of a red flag of the way this closed. However, I'm still in the trade. It hadn't stopped me out. I'm prepared to take it. Like I say, I wasn't really full boat on this trade. It wasn't something I was heavily into, but it's something that I thought would work out, and the risk was okay, and prepared to take the risk on it, prepared to take hold overnight risk on it as well. So market breaks up above the high, and we were in the trade. So my stop's now under that low. I've got about $1 risk on the deal, a $2 risk on the deal, should I say. It's not a lot, it's not a lot of risk. Market comes up, pushes back down, holds, pushes back up, doesn't really do a lot. I'm pretty much thinking, tomorrow it's possible it can gap me out, gap lower and stop me out. Like I say, I'll only take overnight risk if my size is the appropriate level where I can stomach some sort of overnight risk. I wouldn't take it over earnings, obviously, and also the fact that I've got a good cushion in if I've got a bit more size. So closed there. Next day gapped up, so great. Now we're looking like this could be the momentum day that we're after. Starts to drive higher. Let's go back to the daily chart, because I think it's easier to frame it on the daily. Starts to drive higher, and it starts to push to the high. So I changed my thesis slightly, and the way that I managed this trade very slightly, purely because of the nature of the close the prior day. So that changes my thought process. Now, if that day had been very, very strong and closed at highs, I probably would have been a little bit more sympathetic to pullbacks and breakouts that didn't quite rip straight away. I would have thought, okay, that's a high close. The next day, give it some room. Let's see if we can get a 3-day move. We can quite easily tag 50, maybe 49 before a pause. I'd be happy with taking most of the trade off and then leaving some to run. But the fact that we closed kind of near lows just made me think, I want to measure my expectations a bit. This is not a case of it's purely ripping and shorts are getting hammered here. It's not that case at all. We've got to, no matter what we hope from the trade, we've got to look at what the price is telling us. And price is telling us, yes, we're strong. Yes, momentum's with the bulls, but there's not a complete lack of sellers here. There are some sellers here, as we saw coming back here. So anyway, gap up. We pushed through. I decided to take some off as we kind of skimmed through the highs. So I'm taking some off just as we pushed through the highs initially. I think it was 45, 90, or was it 46.10, around that kind of level, give or take the actual intricacies. In fact, you know what, guys, I'll look at it and I'll tell you exactly the exit I did. So while I'm looking up and bringing up the broker on my mobile here, the point is that you have to kind of adjust and adapt as to what's going on. All right, so where are we? Peloton. So yeah, Peloton 45.51 or 46.70. So as we start to gap up here, I'm taking some off on this day here, 45.51. So as the first gap up through, you can see it's pushed up through the highs. As it comes back, I'm obviously coming out into this little level here, 45.51, and then holding it for a little bit more of a move into the 46.70s. I think the fact that it wasn't really ripping made me come out of the trade. I just wasn't happy with the way that it wasn't motoring on. Now, at the end of the day, sometimes you've got to have a bit of luck. And I'm not going to deny to you guys that there's a bit of luck. The fact that I decided to come out of that trade, a final exit at 46.71, when, the next day it came back through and put a massive tail in. Now I wouldn't have been stopped because my ultimate stop was here. Would I have trailed it up? I probably would have. I don't think I would have kept the stop here. If we'd have got a close here, I'd probably said, okay, if it breaks that low, if I hadn't have closed it on that high there, by the way, I would have said, okay, there's the close, let's put a stop below the low, let's expect some momentum, and this would have almost certainly probably this bar here would have got me out. You know, I would have stayed in. That would have obviously triggered me out on a stop. If that hadn't have happened, I would have probably been here. As I got the break almost to the 50, maybe I'd have trailed some there. But the next day when we kind of started doing work down here, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have let that come back against me. So not a perfect trade by any stretch of imagination. A reasonable kind of multi-dollar move. Risk reward ratio was okay. We got a decent, decent move out of it. Adapting based on, what's happening in the market, adjusting, tweaking, and just really giving it a chance to the room to run, but also saying, you know what, when things aren't working, you've just got to take the money and run and look to the next one. Now, could it have easily kind of stung me out, pinged me out at 45.50 and 46.71, and then carried on? Of course it could, but it is what it is. I'll take these all day, every day, and like I say, I'm in one at the moment, which I'll review and give you the full details of when it's kind of matured and we're traded. I think you probably can guess what type of trade it is just by looking at some of the annotations on the chart here. Anyway, that's Peloton. I like to screen for these strong stocks. I like to screen for weak stocks. I like to position in direction, and I like to look for some kind of trigger that gets me into the trade. They're not all perfect. They're never always going to work out. But if the risk order ratio is okay, and I can see, oh, you know what, I'm risking a couple of dollars. If I'm targeting sort of risk reward ratio of 3 to 1, 4 to 1, and I potentially get a runner of 5, 6, 10 to 1 if you're really lucky and you get it good, then I'll take those all day, every day. Momentum's behind me, risk order ratio is good. I've got a trigger that I can quantify the stop loss on. I'll take those and tuck those away. And keep playing those for as long as we're in this kind of market environment. And guys, whatever you're doing, keep your risk managed. Trades are never going to be perfect. You're never going to hit home runs all the time. But if you can kind of align yourself with the current conditions, align yourself with the trend, there's some opportunities out there. Bye-bye.